For some reason, society tells young men, and I'm one of them, that if you have a bunch of women around you, you're successful. And that's true. Because if girls like you, that means that you're doing something right and that you can have children and reproduce, and that is called successful in modern society, which is correct and right, objectively right. That's what you are built for, biologically. Oh, don't show everything beneath. No, I'm wearing pants for this video. No, I'm kidding. Society tells you that if you have a bunch of women, if you're desired by women, you're doing something right, which is correct. But that is also a massive trap for a bunch of young guys, and that was one of them. I hate it when I can't get the camera right, but it should be fine. Last summer I went on a massive spree to have a bunch of casual intimacy with a bunch of girls, and that continued on a little bit to this year. I want to say today, but that's not true. It is in fact 5 p.m, so that would be strange. But it continued on in the beginning of this year, and then I got confronted by my friends, if you want to say it in a harsh way. I made a decision by myself, but they told me like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is kind of retarded. So did you ever consider doing something else? Because I'm trying to get a wife, because I think long term it's a wise decision, but I was also sleeping around, so like you can't do both. You also have to meet women on proper dates, to see what you want, what you like, and you're just less likely to do that if you're sleeping around. So my friends told me like, hey, you're complaining about finding a wife and you're sleeping around. It doesn't really make sense. Maybe try not sleeping around and then go on dates. Makes more sense. So I did that, and that's working so far. I have better control of my lust, and most people are talking about nofap and gooning and shit, and that's a different lust. I had the lust as in that I could have unlimited women, with Instagram, Tinder, like very desired. I'm a 6'8" guy with some wealth in Medellin, Colombia, so I'm very desired by the woman here. So it's very easy to sleep casually now. It was hard to get here, but now I'm here, and now it's easy. So now it's a massive trap. In the beginning you feel like, oh, it's a challenge, I want to get there. But once it gets easy, it's a trap. Anyway, when I realized that I was on the losing side, everything changed. That's kind of also the conversation that I had with my friends. Like, yes, the validation is nice, and the respect from other guys, like, oh, you're so desired by women, you must do something right, that's status, right? That's fun. In the summer when I was living with my mates, we were in a five bedroom penthouse. Now I'm just living with Harvey, but he's in the gym right now, so I'm just alone in the apartment. And so there's less pressure of status as well. It's not the reason why I was doing it, but I think unconscious it was. And now that desire is smaller, but also because I have more fulfillment from my work. I'm an entrepreneur, so I work for myself. I'm not in a 9 to 5 or something. That's also why I'm traveling. I can actually show you. It's quite a sick view from here. The camera is standing on a roll of toilet paper, and then this is the view here in on my balcony. That's what I'm using for the light here, so you guys can actually properly see me. Anyway, when I realized I was on the losing side, everything changed, because in the beginning you get the status, you get the validation. I mean, you can release. I think the camera is actually not even properly. Okay, no, I think it's correct. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And when you realize that you're losing more than that you're gaining, it's very confrontational, because then you have to make a decision and go against your lust. In the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm chasing my lust, I'm conquering a woman, that's fun. I'm getting experience, blah, blah, blah. It's good, objectively good. Maybe not sleeping around, but just going on dates is good. And having females around and treating them right, and having the social pressure outside of going on dates, that's a good thing. And I think that's a good development as a young guy. But the casual hoeing around thing is dangerous. Because you get validated for something that's not really important by those girls, because I personally, I don't want to be validated by degenerate girls, even though my actions speak differently from before. I don't want that anymore. And I also don't respect people that are sleeping around. And I realized that, and I was like, why am I doing it then? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm yapping for 5 minutes already. So to get to the point of the video, they were getting the better deal. In the beginning, for me, it's fun, experience, blah, blah, blah. But now, the only thing that you do is you release, and you have some sort of female energy, feminine energy, which is nice. But they come to your apartment if you're efficient, like I am, because I can't deal with the headache of being around them all the time. Especially the degenerate girls that you are sleeping around with. You don't want to be around them too much. They have their clear purpose, and it sounds terrible to say, but that's how the casual scene works. So you raise them up via the chat. They come to your apartment. It happens once, twice, 3 times, whatever. I don't know how much gas you have in the tank, but then it's over, and then you order an Uber for them back home, and then you go to sleep. And I recognize patterns very quickly, and I realized that instead of sending them home, I would have liked to cuddle them and treat them with love and like connection. But obviously you're not going to do that with girls that you're sleeping around with. So that means that you have to change your strategy. And then I realized that I was on the losing side. They were getting the better side. They can go to the penthouse. They get free Ubers, obviously. Sometimes they get free food. They get me, which is in this case now a quite developed young guy. Last summer I was probably less developed and probably less like lower status, but now it's better. So they can say, oh, they slept with me, and that's how you should look at it. Even if you're a virgin. I don't regret doing it, but I would give my son different advice, obviously, because it was probably based on trauma, my actions, and I will probably sometime later in the future figure out where it was coming from and how to solve it, and the deep internal validation that I was probably seeking. And I don't hope my son has that same desire. At least that's what I'm gonna try and bring him in the upbringing, that he doesn't need that from degenerate females. Anyway, then I realized, okay, the girls getting all of this. They get me, they get the intimacy, they get the drive to the penthouse, my energy, my time, my skills. That sounds horrible, but it's just, I mean, whatever. And they can tell their friends, and they can show pictures. A bunch of girls wanted to take like a picture because I'm 6'8", so then they stand in front of you and they make a picture, whatever. I don't really care. I'm all over the internet anyway, so whatever. And it was all consensual, so I don't care that much. And I do only sleep with pretty women, so it's not like you see a sub 5 on the internet with my face, like, oh. That's also terrible to say, but it is funny, for sure. Oh, everything in this video is fake, and I'm lying, by the way, so never mind. Let me make my point. For hilarious purposes, I had to add that. Woo. In the beginning, you are on the winning side. Last summer, I was on the winning side. And sleeping with women was validating, and I got status from it, I got experience from it. I got knowledge from it. I needed the female energy more than I do now, because now I can go and also afford to go on proper dates. I am higher status, so I have more female attraction from high quality females. Was not that much the case last summer. And so it's also easier now, but I also have the experience. So I kind of got what I wanted from that phase, and then you are retarded if you are just continuing on when you've already learned your lesson. Like, let's say you are drunk at a party and you're forced to drive home and you get in a car crash, then you are retarded if you're gonna drive and drink again after that, because you know what it could do to you and other people. Same thing with this. Like, I saw that I was on the losing side, so why the fuck would I continue if I'm on the losing side? Anyway, is there anything else that I want to add to this video without yapping too much? If my younger self is watching this and you have the true desire to hoe around, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to not do it. Just make sure that, first of all, that the female is like enjoying her time. Obviously, it's consensual. You give her a good experience, bro. You gotta deliver, bro. Just like, bro, you can't send her home disappointed. Don't brag about it too much, because that's gonna get you to continue doing it. Pay for everything, obviously. Don't let her pay for stuff. Like, that's your duty. If she's coming to you for that, then you can at least buy her Uber and maybe some quick food or whatever. I think that's most of it, to be honest. I'm not going to continue doing it because I don't have any benefits from it anymore. And I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't think that's how you should treat women, even though obviously the girls that I was doing it with were consensual and they enjoyed it, and they are not. I will never get accused of rape or anything because I didn't do that. But then still, that's not how you're supposed to treat intimacy. So learn from my lesson, consume this information and do with it whatever you want.